Good afternoon and welcome to episode 36 of Pondering Fridays with Bina. Today's topics are threefold. The first is titled Your Microbial Passengers. I'll get straight to it. In your gut, you have trillions and trillions of microbes. Some last, some will be there forever and they die, but the family stays. And some are really just passing by and they play a role, but they're not there for long. The importance of these microbes is absolutely enormous. They help us fight infection. There's something called the gut-brain axis, which through a vagus nerve, your gut and your brain actually speak to each other in microseconds. And that conversation is so important, especially when it comes to fighting inflammation, or if you've been poisoned or you've got food, if you've eaten something that isn't lacquer for you. So there's the gut-brain axis. I mean, inflammation, for example, has been linked to, inflammation is caused when your immune system is just constantly working, doesn't have any time to, just chill. But it's been proven that Alzheimer's disease has been linked to just inflammation. Obviously, there's a lot more to it. I'm not a doctor. Things like depression, anxiety, mood swings. Your brain and your gut are so closely linked. I mean, I'm sure any of you, when you eat bad, you feel shit. But when you eat well, you feel better and you look better and your body behaves better. So it's ridiculous how people, and I find it still ridiculous how badly most people, and a lot of people that I know actually eat, because it's really what you put in that counts. And what I've learned through my readings is your gut microbiome is so sensitive that one single meal can change its entire composition within 24 hours, and you have to, start from scratch again. So what is it that these little beautiful creatures that help us stay healthy and keep our brain healthy and keep our bodies healthy and fight disease and anxiety, and they also train your immune system. So if there wasn't that vagus nerve or the gut-brain axis, and we didn't have microbes, we'd be fucked. And I'm sorry to say it, but drinking a kombucha or having some yogurt is not going to replenish an anemic microbiome, because the specific bacteria within those, as much as they are important, are the ones that just go straight through your body. And some of them live as long as 25 minutes. So once you've finished your meal, to the time you finished, or started and finished, they're already gone and they're dead. It's the ones that stick around and continuously recreate themselves or reproduce, whatever the terminology is, that you really want to focus on. Now, what most people don't know is the majority of the microbiome that is in your body actually comes from your birth. So you got it from your mama. Yes, we pick up a few along the way, and certain things will help us build a better microbiome, but everything you have and your health is directly linked to how healthy your mother was. And that's why, primarily I completely believe in a natural birth, because you can imagine, and little humans that I know who have been born naturally and through C-section, the C-section ones, in my experience, don't attack me for this, are not as healthy as the ones that are naturally. You can imagine that baby goes through the canal and is covered in this bacteria that the mother makes as it comes through the vaginal canal. You can imagine all the beneficial stuff that this baby's being covered in is swallowing into its stomach, all its ears and whatever else. Again, I'm not a doctor, but from what I've read, and I read a lot, it just makes sense if it's safe for you and the baby to go natural. And if I ever do go that route and decide to have children, as much as I can, I'll have to go natural, because I want my juices. I want my juices all over that baby. Okay, so we're talking about these microbes, and like I said, yogurt's not going to replenish it. It's not going to fix everything. Neither is kombucha or kimchi or all these fancy fermented foods. Yes, they're good for you and they do certain things, but what your stomach and your microbes, the most beneficial ones, what they need is fiber. The FDA only recommends 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day, whereas most people who eat what's called the standard American diet, SAD diet, funnily enough, SAD, are only getting 15 grams of fiber a day. How are you meant to build a healthy body if you're not feeding it what it needs? I I mean, I obviously always go too far with everything that I do, but I mean, on a general day, the days that I don't only eat one meal a day, which is today, but generally I eat, 2 meals a day, I'll get up to like 100 to 125 grams of fiber. I mean, it makes sense when you consider that I go to the bathroom 3 times a day, but it's good to get rid of that shit. And since I've been eating better and putting more good stuff, I can actually feel it. I used to get panic attacks all the time and anxiety at work and feel really depressed often, but it doesn't happen anymore. So fiber, I don't want to go into my whole, sob story of me. Again, I'm on the roof at work. This is an event space, but it's not as pretty as last week. What was I saying? Fiber. Okay, so what it does, your body, obviously fiber is made up of complex carbohydrates that have these long chains that are far too difficult for our bodies to break down. We don't have the enzymes even in our very, very or highly acidic stomach. So eventually the little enzymes, or the complex carbs and the threads, chains rather, go down and they land in your gut, and your little guys and your microbes feed off of them. And as they feed, they procreate and they make more and more. And it's not a build it and they will come, it's eat it and they will thrive or they will multiply. And it's the good ones that you want are the ones that want fiber. Bad ones want sugary cuck. So the more shit you eat, the more shitty of a gut you're going to have. So it just fucking makes sense, and I don't get it when people are not, looking after themselves. And I've spoken about this before with all elderly or older people that I know who haven't been looking after themselves, have terrible diseases now and are weak and, can't even climb up the stairs properly. And it's just from being logical. Okay, it's a bit of a rant now. Okay, so topic number 2, I want to talk about menstrual cups. Currently, I am in my 5th period of using a menstrual cup, and I haven't done the maths yet, but gosh, for somebody who has endometriosis and polycystic ovarian syndrome, that time of the month debilitates me. The pain, I can't hardly walk. There's days that I just want to stay in bed the whole time. It's almost gone, the pain with the menstrual cup. I'm also not using as many tampons, and you're just throwing them away, and causing more shit for the environment. And in fact, when I do use tampons, I have to change them sometimes every 30 minutes. That's how heavy my flow can be on day 2 and 3. 30 minutes to an hour you have to change. And that's a lot of fucking tampons. Whereas this, 6 or 7 hours on a heavy day I can go. Some days I can go 12 when it's not so heavy. Yes, okay, the application's a little bit different, and you have to get used to how it feels. It's like having a foreign friend visiting you for a while. So that's menstrual cup, and I think more and more people need to use it. It's a lot more hygienic. You don't have the chance of getting toxic shock syndrome, which is something that I've never had, but it's almost like a fatal disease. You can die from it. Those girls who leave tampons in for too long, and all that blood is just get it out. Like when you need to vomit. When you need to go shit, just shit, get it out. Better out than in. And I say the same thing with blood. And the third thing I wanted to talk about has now left my brain. Damn it, I really had something spectacular planned. Gosh. Anyway, I'm already on 9 minutes, so maybe it's not meant to be before next week. Today is a 1 meal only day for me, breaking my fast at 1 o'clock to have the world's biggest falafel wrap. And then I'm fasting from 2 to tomorrow. I'm doing a 10K trail run, so I'm going to do that fasted. Maybe bring some dates in case I feel a bit weak, but then hopefully going to try 2, I could probably get to a 20-hour fast with exercise in between. So let's see how that goes. Namaste, happy Friday, and I still can't remember what the third topic is, so okay, be kind to yourself.